Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. We've got an awesome free game offering right now over on Steam. This is one of the better free game offerings recently, and it's off a pretty sizable game, so you'll definitely want to take advantage of that. On top of that, Nvidia has published their performance numbers of the RTX 2080 versus the GTX 1080. They go through a bunch of different games, and I want to go through those performance numbers and also why it could be a little misleading. Also, I want to take a look at the Humble Spooky Horror Bundle 2018. A lot of great games as a part of that Humble Bundle, one of the better ones in recent memory. And then Amazon Studios are also working on a brand new sandbox MMORPG called New World. We're getting some more information on that, and I want to take a quick look at that because it is Amazon Game Studios after all. That is a pretty interesting development. Want to quickly cover that at the end of this video. First of all, over on Steam right now, you can get a free copy of For Honor. Yes, this is not a free weekend. This is free for you to keep forever. It'll be available until August 27th. Install it right now, and it is yours to own forever. Now, why this is so awesome is because For Honor is actually a game that its user base has dwindled a little bit, but right now, there are 120,000 people online right now. Make sure you install it. Make sure you get all your boys to install it, and you can have a great time with it. I love when they give out multiplayer games for free. I love when they do multiplayer free weekends, because multiplayer games are all about playing with your friends, and with some of these titles it's hard to convince your friends to pick them up, especially if they are anywhere from $10 to $15, but now you can get For Honor the Starter Edition absolutely free. I should also mention, if you do want to invest a little bit of money, you can get the Standard Edition for $15, Deluxe Edition $17.50, and Gold Edition $25. I would just recommend download that Starter Edition, see what you think of it, and go from there. But that is awesome that Ubisoft is giving out that game for free. Definitely take advantage of that. And again, a very sizable player boost right now, 125,000 people online, and that's really the jolt this game needed, because while the quality has been increasing, the player count was rather low for a little bit, but now it'll have a sizable increase. Maybe the best idea would have just to make the Starter Edition free forever and keep that player base sustained, but hopefully it gets such a big jolt that even throughout the next few months, that player base is sustained. Let's hope that is the case, but for now, again, check out the Starter Edition absolutely free. Moving on from that, Nvidia has published a graph of the RTX 2080 versus the GTX 1080, and the performance numbers are kind of underwhelming to me. Now, obviously, the RTX 2080 has a sizable increase over the GTX 1080, but at the same time, look at what the GTX 1080 is priced right now. That GPU was available today for $320. It was an EVGA B-Stock 1080, but still, $320. The RTX 2080, the Founders Edition, is $800. So, of course, there should be a sizable performance increase with the 2080 versus the 1080, and with the majority of games, you're looking at a 50 to 75% increase, which is pretty good. I would say those are very respectable numbers. Some exact performance numbers. At 4K, FF15 was getting 60 frames per second. Hitman was getting 73 frames, Call of Duty World War II 93 frames, Mass Effect Andromeda 67 frames, Star Wars Battlefront 2 65 frames, Resident Evil 7 66 frames, F1 2017 72 frames, Destiny 2 66, Battlefield 1 84, and Far Cry 5 71 frames per second. That's all on the regular RTX 2080, so not the 2080 Ti. This is a cheaper alternative, and I say cheaper loosely considering it is still $800. Now, if you have the 2080 with DLSS enabled, that's deep learning super sampling, that is going to increase performance even more. And a lot of these games are doing very, very well performance-wise, but again, I think what's being lost is the fact that the 1080 is not a $700 or $800 GPU anymore. It's a $400 GPU, regularly available for $400, and more often than not, you can find it considerably cheaper than that. So yes, was the 1080 more expensive when it launched? Yes, but if you're directly comparing the 2080 versus the 1080, you have to take into account the price right now, and the price right now is $400, so if somebody was going into the market building a new PC, and you're looking at getting a 2080 versus a 1080, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense because a 2080 is a $700, $800 GPU. The 1080 is a $350, $400 GPU, so it's not really apples to apples in that sense. But still, it's good to see that the 2080 is going to see a sizable performance increase from the 1080. I'll leave a link to that official post over on videocards.com, and you can have a look for yourself. The performance is about what I would expect, but I was hoping for a little bit more, to be honest. Honestly, what I think it is, it all comes back to that price. $800 is just so expensive, and for that price you would expect far better performance. Even though the performance is really, really good, it's just that it is an $800 GPU, so even really, really good to me doesn't suffice for that price. But yeah, again, link to that will be in the description box below. Moving on from that, Humble Spooky Horror Bundle 2018 is live right now. A lot of good stuff as a part of that bundle. I want to go through every tier. At the minimum, the pay $1 tier will get you White Noise, Layers of Fear, How to Survive, and How to Survive 2. So those are pretty good for just $1. If you beat beat the average of $7.72, you will get Detention, BioShock Remastered, and Yomawari Night Alone. I've heard very good things about Detention, haven't played it myself, but it does have a 96% positive reception on Steam. That's overwhelmingly positive. BioShock and Yomawari Night Alone, I've heard that game was also very good, a game published by Bandai Namco. I played a little bit of it, but not enough to formulate a conclusive opinion, but from what I played, a very interesting horror game. I would recommend it, and for $7.72, you get that as a part of the Beat the Average tier. I would say that's a very good tier. And lastly, paying $15 or more will also get you Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th. The game Dead by Daylight is, of course, very good, and I believe even on sale that typically goes for $10, so that's very good. If you are a monthly subscriber and you pay $15 or more, you'll also get $2 of Humble Wallet credit. So at the very least, I would pay $1 to get those games. The Beat the Average is really good too, and then that $15 tier I would say is awesome as well. Now, Friday the 13th isn't all that great. I believe support for that game is stopping very soon, or it has already stopped, so that's kind of disappointing, but Dead by Daylight really rounds out that tier very nicely. And you're getting a little bit more incentive if you are a Humble monthly subscriber, so that's some good stuff. Again, I do always like to mention I am partnered with Humble, so if you guys use my link in the description box below, I do get a little bit of a kickback. I've been promoting Humble for a very long time. They offer great games at great prices. A lot of the money goes towards charity, so you really can't go wrong buying games from them. And lastly, Amazon is of course getting into the game development realm with Amazon Game Studios, and one of their games that they're creating is a little title called New World. TechAdvisor has a great article on New World that has just been published. I would highly recommend you to take a look at that. It looks like a pretty ambitious title, and they go pretty in-depth with the game. If you've never heard of New World, let me give you the rundown of what it is. Here's the description from Amazon Games' official page. Carve your own destiny. In New World, a massively multiplayer open-ended sandbox game set in a living cursed island. Choose how you play, what you do, and whom you work with or against in an evolving world that transforms with the seasons, weather, and time of day. Band together to reclaim monster-haunted wilds and build thriving civilizations, or strike out on your own, surviving in the face of supernatural terrors and murderous player bandits. Focused on emergent gameplay and rich social features, including deep Twitch integration with broadcaster-led events, achievements, and rewards, your only limit in the New World is your ambition. So of course, Amazon does own Twitch now, so I think if they do create more games, Twitch integration is something that you can definitely expect with a lot of their games, and they're definitely going for that with New World. Looks to be a pretty ambitious game. The game was playable at Gamescom, so that's pretty cool that it's already at that state. And TechAdvisor, again, has that great article, so link to that in the description box below. So that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, make sure you check out your free copy of For Honor. You can add it to your library right now, even if you don't have a gaming PC. As I always said, just add it to your Steam library, and when you got your PC, when it's good to go, you'll have that free game, because if you take advantage of all of these free game offerings, you can build a very sizable Steam library before you even get your PC. And if you're, say, watching this video on mobile, download the Steam app, and I believe you can still add For Honor to your library, so you have no excuse. Really, on any platform, you can take advantage of this, unless you're watching on like consoles, which then you're kind of out of luck. As I mentioned, Nvidia has shown off performance numbers of the RTX 2080 versus the GTX 1080. While the performance of the 2080 is impressive, at the end of the day, I'm all about price to performance, and the price of the 2080 is just so high that even this great performance doesn't really seem suitable for that kind of price point. It's gonna be a very capable 4K GPU, but still, it's $800, and that is just so expensive. Again, Humble is running the Humble Spooky Horror Bundle 2018. That is a great bundle with a lot of great games, a lot of good value. I would recommend you to pay $15 or more and get Dead by Daylight. Alternatively, paying just $1, saving some money, and getting those 4 games is a really good option as well. And the Beat the Average is really good too, so you can't go wrong with this bundle. And Amazon Game Studios is working on New World, a sandbox MMORPG game. Looks very ambitious, was playable at Gamescom, and TechAdvisor has a great article on that. Check it out in the description box below. That's gonna wrap up this one. If you guys have a request for a future video, leave it in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.